Welcome back to Main Street Living, ladies. We are just getting this show started. Danielle, Brandy, do you believe in ghosts?
I think so. I think I do.
Yeah,
just to be on the safe side, I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, yes.
Well, it turns out a lot of Americans do. In fact, 40% of us believe that ghosts exist, and 1 in 5 people actually think they've seen one.
Well, you might not think that sunny San Diego feels very haunted or spooky, but our next guest just might change your mind. Please welcome Victor Santana. Victor, thanks so much for making the time for us on Main Street Living.
Hello. Good morning.
So, Victor, are there lots of haunted places in San Diego?
There are so many haunted places in San Diego, all over the county, all over the city. The most well-known ones, you've heard of, with the Hotel del Coronado, with the Villa Montezuma, and of course the world-famous Whaley House in Old Town San Diego, plus many, many other locations.
So it sounds like, obviously, you're the expert on this. Tell us a little bit about the Ghosts and Gravestones Tour.
So the Ghosts and Gravestones Tour is basically an experience where you go through 3 different haunted locations in San Diego. You start off in Old Town with a brief introduction of the general area. Old Town was the first town in the area. The center of San Diego, if you will, back in the 1800s. After that, we'll take you to one particular site that has a very interesting reputation, a very interesting story. At one point, it used to be a cemetery, and now it's a park. So as you're playing around the park, you're actually playing over former grave sites or current grave sites as well. Then we go to one of the oldest cemeteries in San Diego, in the name of the Camposanto Cemetery, which is the Holy Field. And then we come to the Whaley House site. We actually don't go into the museum. That's kind of where the guides themselves kind of give you an introduction into what you might see if you enter the museum. And then you have the option to purchase a ticket or not to go further into the tour. But the tour itself takes about an hour and 15 minutes and covers different locations in San Diego.
Okay, so I'm a haunted house novice. So for those of us who don't know about this place, you guys offer a tour of the Whaley House, which is one of America's most haunted places. What can you tell us about it, and what might people see on that tour?
So before we even talk about the haunted element of it, it's a really cool, interesting building. It's San Diego's first commercial theater. It's San Diego's second courthouse. And it was one of the first, if not the first, bilingual general store in the area. Now, before the house was built in 1852, they used to have the execution grounds, the gallows on site. And this gentleman named Yankee Jim Robinson, who was an alleged horse thief, was executed on site. And he's believed to be the very first entity ever experienced on site in the house by the gentleman that built the house, Thomas Whaley.
Wow. So this time of year, does it seem like spirits are more active, or are all of us just more aware of it?
I think people are definitely more aware of it. I can't really be honest and say, oh, yeah, they're more active at this time, at this state, during this hour. I think it happens whenever whoever wants to have that experience, whoever's more open to it, is visiting. It doesn't happen to everyone, and it doesn't happen all the time. But, it is the season, right? It is the time where most people have their interest piqued by this particular type of experience, and we do have a very high traffic at this time as well.
Well, everybody has a different threshold, I think, for being scared. So are the tours family friendly? How scared should people expect to be?
So all of our tours are PG-13. We'll make a few exceptions here and there. There are some subject matters that may not be appropriate for children. For example, the executions, the hangings. There's a couple of suicide stories. There's a story about a couple of young children passing away from in different ways. So it depends really on the child, but we try to keep it PG-13 as much as we can.
All right. So if we're sold, we want to go on this, and you're in San Diego, how can viewers get more information or buy tickets?
So ghostandgravestones.com will be our main website, and of course, WhaleyHouseSanDiego.com. We have different types of tours when it comes to the Whaley House. We have the daytime operation, which is mostly a self-guided tour. We have the evening guided room-by-room tours. That's actually with one of our docents dressed in period clothing, and they tell you all the stories. Those take about 40 minutes. And then if you're really into the haunted element of it, we have our paranormal investigations. And those take place after we shut down to the general public. They're limited to only 8 people per tour, and you're basically using the equipment, the same equipment you see on television. We have a bunch of it, and you get to be a part of your own investigation if you'd like.
Victor, amazing. Before we let you go, with your extensive experience here, do you believe in ghosts?
I think you should always keep an open mind. I've never actually seen a ghost, but I've been around when interesting things do happen. Whether it was a ghost or not, I have an open mind, so you never know.
Never know. We love to hear it. Thank you so much for joining us today, Victor.
Thank you very much.
And up next, Haunted Rhode Island. Stay tuned.